All right. Well, hello and welcome, everybody. It's always fun to see all your smiling faces, virtually and remotely. Did everybody, looks like the documents in there for you to enter and say hi. Put your information in our spreadsheet there. And we'll just kind of take a moment to go around and say hi for everybody. If you have any, on the right-hand side, you can see there's like links or nifty lessons or anything. I'll chat here in a bit today about the Facebook page and some of the things we're trying to do to connect everybody statewide with some of those fun things. But anything you share in there, I do manage the page, and I'd love to share some of those amazing things that you're doing with the people that I travel and see, and all of us as well. So if you have anything really cool you want to share, please feel free to do that. And we'll start just with you, Aaron, if you want to say hi, and anything fun in the moment you want to share, maybe something you did today or whatever.
I got a couple things. So I went to the National CSTA conference in Las Vegas, had a great time there, learned how to be a CS mentor, which I'm going to be doing this year in addition to my teaching. Had a lot of fun, did a lot of sessions. I gambled a lot and I won a ton of money. So
really?
I'm very pleased. So, and then tomorrow I'm flying to Florida for Universal Studios and using up all that money I won. So
Fine.
All right, I guess we can just kind of go around if
Jan looks like she's
somebody
next.
or however you want to do it. Jan, if you want to start, if you want to go next.
So I'm Jan Plain. I'm a computer science faculty member at Ripon College. Recently moved back to Wisconsin after 33 years at the University of Maryland, College Park. So I retired from there and then quickly unretired because I love teaching computer science. So something fun, I guess. I'm just getting ready for the semester. We finished our summer program where I was teaching college students to teach high school students of the robotics team how to program their robots. And we finished that up last week, and now school starts the week after next. So that's what's going on with me. So we call on somebody else? Yeah, Rebecca?
Hello, everyone. My name is Rebecca Beeson. I'm a computer science and multimedia teacher at Hamilton High School in Milwaukee. And this year I just went to a career readiness summit in the Dells, and that was very interesting, and I'm glad I went. And I'm going to be presenting to our staff about what our program is all about at Hamilton and how we're trying to work with computer science and towards careers for our kiddos. I am going to be welcoming 2 grandbabies tomorrow morning. My daughter's having a C-section. She's pregnant with twin girls. And so that's what we've been all about at this house.
Why don't you go ahead and just call on somebody else?
Oh, how about Fatima?
All right. Good evening, everybody. I think I missed you in the Dells. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to you. Honestly, I didn't see you. Sorry. But I was there last week too. And I love the city summit that was organized by the Wisconsin CSAS and the DPI. I am a teacher at elementary school, computer science teacher. I'm currently working on my master's in educational leadership to become a principal, and I am part of the Wisconsin chapter, like since maybe 2 or 3 years, even more. I don't remember, and I'm looking forward to a productive school year. I don't see the other participants. Let me see here. Maybe Sagar.
Hi everyone, this is Sagar. I think you all know me. I teach at New Berlin West in New Berlin, and I'm excited. My colleague Aaron is presenting today. It's nice to have him here in the session. And Rebecca, it's nice to see you. Rebecca and I attended the Mentors in CS program the first year. So nice to see you here. Welcome everybody, and I'm excited about this session. Oh, I have to call somebody.
Yeah.
Wait. Maria, would you like to go ahead next?
Hi, I'm Mariah Wright. I teach at Little Wolf High School, Manawa Middle School in Manawa, Wisconsin. And fun and exciting things. I was in my room today with two of my sons and two of my grandchildren. They were helping me set up my computers because, as we all know, that takes forever to get them all set back up after they wax your floors. So, how about Aaron? Did Aaron go already? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh.
think Jennifer hasn't
Okay.
introduced herself.
Or John?
I can go, yeah. Hey, I'm John Kazicki. I teach at Greendale High School. I teach computer science principles. It's the only computer science course I teach, but actually a physics teacher by trade. So first time coming to one of these meetings. I did attend a long time ago when you guys were at the Math Council convention. So that's how we heard about you. And fun thing that we did this summer is I tore apart our deck in the backyard, so now we just have a concrete patio that was underneath, and it's much nicer. Let's see. Kyle, have you gone?
Yeah, sort of. I'll probably go too many times, but yeah, we can pick on pick somebody else. I guess I'll go Stacy.
Hi, I'm Stacy Lesmeister. I teach at Cedarburg High School. I teach math and computer science. And so the summer I went to CSTA, and then I also went to TCU this summer. College Board had like a AP Summer Institute for AP CSA that was really awesome. And I got to attend there, and it was a lot of fun. And today was my first day back in the classroom as well. I snuck in a little late. Kristen, have you gone yet?
Not yet.
All
I'm
right.
Kristen Kaminar. I teach at Waukesha North High School. I got to hang out with some of you lovely people at the CSTA in Vegas this summer and get trained to be a mentor. Yeah, and right now I'm supervising 2 kids at the park while chatting with you. So that's what I have going on. See, Jenny, have you gone yet?
No, I have not. I assume you mean me. Yeah. So, yeah, so this is my first time joining these meetings. I also was in Las Vegas for the CSTA mentorship program, and excited about what this will be about. So, yeah, right now, well, it's been a great summer. That was a big highlight of the summer. And right now I think I already said this to some of the people, and we're just enjoying our last few days in Washington Island right now. So I'm looking at Lake Michigan right now. It's really pretty. Oh, and I got to call on somebody. Is there anybody that hasn't gone? I don't know if I see everybody here. Kyle.
I haven't gone yet, if nobody else hasn't.
Sure.
So I'm Mark Taylor. I'm computer science teacher at Mesmer High School in Milwaukee. I'm teaching everything from intro to AP. And one of the great things that happened today is I got to meet some students. They started their orientation, and there's a lot of excitement at the school to build a really good computer science program. They've struggled to get people in to do it, but we've got me, we've got a STEM teacher, we've got 2 business teachers, so like my computer science doesn't have to get put out of the way for business. So it seems like a good setup, and I hope that continues. And I think I started late, but it sounds like I was the last one to go because no one else volunteered.
I don't think I haven't gone yet, but Sorry, everybody, I can't put my video on because my car knows I'm driving. Won't let me put my video on when I'm Zoom. And I guess my name's Jacqueline, and I met a lot of you this summer at the CSTA, which was super awesome. I was very excited about that because my PPG this year was that I would make more connections in Wisconsin. Because those of you that I have met know that I actually am originally from Michigan. I teach almost all computer science. I also have a promotional media class where we do all the media in the district, multimedia, but also we do all the digital boards, Daktronics, Jumbotron, stuff like that. I used to teach in Michigan, but I retired and now I'm in Wisconsin. I'm at Bondwell High School. And I guess the exciting thing besides the CSTA this summer, which was really exciting and super amazing, and I highly recommend it if any of you haven't done the CSTA yet, is that I also ran 3 workshops for code.org this summer. So I actually had about 4 weeks of computer science this summer and I loved every minute of it. And I guess I don't have anyone to call on, right? Because everybody's
All
gone.
right. Okay, yep. Yeah, go ahead, Scott.
Okay, I've not gone yet. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, my name is Chinomso Onyuku. I'm from North Division High School, and I wasn't able to go for the CSTA because I wasn't chosen to go for the CSTA conference on scholarship, but I was able to go for the NAV conference this year. It was very, very, very good, and I was able to participate in the code.org trainings that we'll be having spontaneously. So I'm happy this is my second time of joining CSTA Wisconsin meeting and the rest of it. So thank you for having me here.
I'll go ahead on here. I'm Scott Kempen, computer science teacher at Washington High School in Milwaukee. In terms of a couple exciting things. One, I'm continuing to work on my master's in data science, continuing to progress through that. Also, I actually got to, first time in a few years, go to BDPA's Black Data Processing Associates National Conference with a group of students participating in their youth tech experience. I did put the high school computer competition problem in the spreadsheet, at least the stage 1 of the problem, in terms of what the high school computer competition entails.
All right. I
Jenny,
think that was
how
everybody.
about Jenny Tabbert?
Hi, my name is Jenny
There we go.
Tabbert from St. Lawrence Seminary. Here, I thought I'd sneak in quick. Yeah, great story. Started school, rock and rolling.
All right. That everybody? I think we got everybody now.
I think so, yeah.
Well, just quickly for me, I taught, I guess, 7 years, 3rd grade, 12 years within district. Now, last couple of years, I kind of travel around and do fun things with computer science wherever people have me. I build things at a museum, and I do all sorts of stuff. And one of the things that I do is kind of manage the Facebook page that I started there. Let me see if I can share my screen. I'll just kind of show you. Basically, this is just the rundown. Joe had kindly sent this out to let all of you know to come here. But basically, this is our tentative schedule for the year. And we just say if you have something really awesome you want to present on or talk or share, feel free to reach out to us or Joe and let us know and we can put you in the schedule there. And this will kind of give you an idea of the different topics that we have coming up. And if you want to add anything to that. The other part there, the Facebook page, if you like Facebook, what we're trying to do there is kind of share a lot of those different things. So there's some of those, obligatory CSTA Las Vegas pictures, but then some of the other parts are beyond the newsletter is to kind of share some of the different things we're doing and like some of this here where it's like inside the classroom. So if you don't have a Facebook page and want to share with myself or others, I can then put that on the page, but feel free to put that in there. And the goal is to build that community there to kind of get, more of those different pieces around. And like when we share those different things here, I'd be more than happy to share them on that page as well. That being said, Joe, do you have anything to add to that?
Not really, other than the aspirations program will be opening the application period starting in September 1 to October 29th or whatever else like that. So hopefully all of you will be able to push and encourage your young women to apply for the aspirations award. Thank you.
All right. So we've got a few people presenting today. I guess we can just kind of go on the order that it's in the document there. So we have Stacy and Aaron are here. And then following that up will be Professor Jan Plain. Hopefully I got all those correctly. So I guess Stacy and Aaron, if you want to take it away with your fun, exciting, awesome things, and hopefully you can share your screen as needed.
All right, yeah, let's go ahead.
Perfect.
Can you see my screen okay?
Yes.
All right. So I'll share these slides with you guys in a second. But so basically, I'm only going to take a few minutes to talk about a programming environment called P5JS. And so I'll go to the website in a second, but you can go there as well. And so there is this environment called processing, and you can download it and use the programming language Java. But I use the online website and use JavaScript with it. And what you'll see is this processing allows you to go ahead and really allow students to draw on canvas, and you can use shape, images, text, have buttons, have user input with keys, with the mouse. They can have images and videos and sounds. And the other day, kids found the webcam, and it's very intuitive. I use it in my beginning text-based programming class with like my freshmen and sophomores. At CSTA this summer, I actually had quite a few middle school teachers talk to me about how they use it with students. And then I've seen people get very complex with it, and I've had students after their AP CSA after the AP exam, they've used it for like a project after. So it can be very, very diverse. And so just to kind of show you the environment, if I just go to the site, they have, if you just go to the start coding, you can go ahead and create an account and everything. I won't take the time to do all of that. But if I just press run right now, you can see what kids like about this environment is that it's just very intuitive. You can see the preview right over here. If you go to the help menu and go to the reference page right away, it has a lot of the different code there for like the API. So like if I go to a rectangle, you could read through all of the writing, but you know the kids don't. And so they can go to an example right away, and I'll have them like copy the code and put it back in their editor right away, and then just play with the numbers and, see what it does. Or look at more examples like, oh, this one has 5 parameters. Now read the code comment. Oh, this one has a lot of parameters. Or we'll have them scroll down and have them read kind of some of the syntax and whatnot here. It kind of just depends on their ability and kind of how much they want to dive in. Then we'll go ahead, and go through like how you can get color. And obviously the color would also be in the reference page back there and everything. But so they really kind of just start exploring through this reference page, the different shapes and different colors. And then later on, their like key presses and their mouse presses have been the big thing, or like how to get images images and stuff, there are tutorials and examples, but really a lot of things I've had kids do is just Google like P5JS and then like mouse movement or whatever. But what I did want to show you, because we're just going to keep it quick, is kind of like where this can go in this environment. And so when I share my slides with you in a second, I put all of my tasks that I do with my students in a quarter in P5JS. So just to get them introduced to the environment, you will see that here we just go ahead and get used to shapes and colors by having them try it out and then try it out in more creative ways here. Well, then we go ahead and take that a step further into kind of an assessment piece. And so we'll go ahead and kind of do like a self-portrait. And so you can see how they kind of had to make themselves. So these are some student examples where they had to take a class period or two to make themselves. So you can kind of see what they had to do for that. And then from there, I go ahead and so like the task you had just saw, you'll see it again here, but now you'll see, oh, make the rectangle move automatically and make it wrap back around the screen and make the circle just follow your mouse around and make the triangle move with the keys and don't allow it to move off the screen. And then there's something special about the draw function. It's a automatic loop. So, oh, just make a rectangle look like it's multiplying over and over in different things. And what I eventually lead to is then using images. So you can see they eventually go ahead and bring in images and get them to bounce around the screen and stuff. And that leads to a semester project where then they can make like a game of their choosing. And so, for example, and I just have some linked here, a lot of people like to replicate their favorite games. And so if this one ever comes up, here's their directions. And so this one is Mario. And so I turned the sound off. Hopefully you're not hearing it. Actually, it's kind of fun to hear. I'll do it again. But so if I hit backspace, and of course I lost. But so going ahead and seeing, or like this guy made a full, played around with getting it to be full screen. Or something more standstill, like this person with their chemistry class made a periodic table, and when you hover over it, it aligns with the different elements and goes ahead and connects. And so there's a lot of different ways you can go, and it just aligns with all the different abilities. And so it's just a really cool environment to let people explore. And so I just kind of wanted to share that with you. And so that's kind of all I have. I'll put the link to that in the chat in a second.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Well, I
Aaron,
guess
looks
I'm
like you're
next
up
then, huh?
next. Yeah.
Okay, so during the year following the coronavirus pandemic,
Well, I guess we could say, did anybody have a question at all? I guess if you have questions, you put them in the chat. Otherwise, did anybody have any in the moment? I know you're probably still playing with it. So Aaron, we'll give them a pause here to continue finishing whatever they were doing. I was making some trees and different things. But does anybody have any questions?
do you find it easy to have them meet the create performance task standards in a graphical environment?
So I use code.org for principles. I've never tried it with that. I would say it would probably be hard to, I do a task with them that you'll see in there with like arrays, and class design, but, with at least the time, I think code.org is the better one for that. I've never seen, I don't know if any of you have, but I've never seen that platform when I've AP graded. There might be a strong reason for that.
All right. Well, if anybody else has any other questions, feel free to put them in chat and we'll get those to you. Otherwise, all right, Aaron.
Okay, so yeah, during the pandemic year, the year following the pandemic, our district in its wisdom decided we were going to allow some students to be virtual, some in the classroom. So I had literally teaching the same group of students, but half of them are at home, half of them in the classroom. Cigar and I recognized pretty quickly that we needed something that that we didn't already have. So in exploring, we quickly came upon CodeHS, and because it was very versatile and could handle almost all of our 8 different classes that we offer, we figured, well, let's just go all in on CodeHS. We're going to try this out for the year, see how it'll work, and it has a lot of great things to it, a lot of possibilities, a lot of drawbacks. It's I'm going to try to talk about all those things, and I'll show you how you could get your classes set up and the different things that you can do with it. So I'm going to share my screen. I don't have a nice PowerPoint or anything to share out with you. I'm going to let it sell itself, I guess you could say. So now I do have the Pro version, and Cigar does too, but I've never used the Pro version before. The reason why I have the Pro version is because my school district has decided we're going to use CodeHS for K through 6 now as well. I teach 7 to 12, but I gain the benefit of the district having the Pro version. So I've literally never used the features of the Pro version. I'm going to try to show in my demonstration only the things that I've used in the not Pro version, you know, just like me in general, not very pro. So, but if you were to, at the end, then I'll try to explore some of the new things that I've never really had access to. So I've literally never used the Pro version for a full school year. So I noticed at the very end of last year I had it. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and let's go ahead and take a look at CodeHS. So that's not CodeHS. Okay, here it is. Let me minimize my Zoom quick. I can't. Okay. So you can see all the different sections I've made over the years. These are all the ones I made for last year. I had one called AP Computer Science A Prep. I had Principles, another APA Prep for different students because some of them need a little bit of help on stuff. Cybersecurity, exploring computer science, web development. And then these are for my 7th graders. Wheel, it's called. It's a introductory computer science thing. So it's not just for one particular class. It's not just for AP Computer Science A or AP Principles or what have you. It can be they have lots and lots and lots of different courses that you can select. So I'm going to just show you a little tour of one of the classes as you would have seen it last year, and you can take a look at what my students have done. So I'll go into, let's do wheel first quarter. No, wheel third quarter. We'll do that. So I designed this to be just a place I could teach my 7th graders to do some of the web development that they were going to do. Now this is my roster of students. You can see up here a join code. So once I create a class section, which I'm going to show you how easy that is to do in a little bit, I give them that join code. They can come onto CodeHS, log in through Google, enter in a join code, and they can already be in the learning environment within minutes. I have them in there on day 1. It takes maybe 5 minutes. 85% of the students will get it on their own, and the rest can, ask each other for help. So very easy. Now this is an expired course, but I should be able to still look at it. So these are all the students as they had signed up. So I'm going to go into Ashley's account. You can see she finished 100% of all of her coursework that was assigned. That is a free feature, so you don't need Pro for that. You can see the completed thing. But if I go into Ashley, you can see these are all the different tasks that they are assigned to do. Watch a video, look at 2 examples in 1.1. 1.2, structure of an HTML page. Watch a video, look at a couple examples, and then do 2 different coding exercises. These are really the strength of CodeHS, is they have coding exercises built right into it that in a lot of cases, it'll automatically grade whether they were successful or not. So I'm going to show you this exercise, 125, kind of dig into it a little bit. Over here, we don't use this in that class, but you can add additional files. If you had a multi-page website or if you had resources, you can put them there. I tell the kids to collapse this a little bit. So as usual for most coding environments, we code on the left. We see our output on the right. So this is what this web page would look like. And then all the different features are in the right area as well. The different tabs here, output, test cases, it'll tell me whether or not I've achieved success. As you can see, the 3 objectives of the auto graders already recognize they've succeeded on it. Docs is your textbook, essentially. It has everything you could possibly learn in the class. It's got it right here in the tab. If you want to open up a new tab and get the textbook off on its own, you can do that. That way they don't have to keep switching tabs off of there. But you could see every topic. And I never even cover even close to the number of topics that are available here. But everything from HTML, initial tags, links, images, lists, all the way up to, Bootstrap and adding in, different, CSS packages and whatnot. So lots and lots of stuff. I don't even come close to getting through all of it. So, all right, now back to the main page. The assignment tab is going to tell them what it is they're supposed to do. These aren't always written the best. Sometimes there's a little ambiguity in what the kids are being asked to do. But as a teacher, we have already done it and we should already know, where the hangups are going to be. So I just give them a little heads up. Hey, don't forget that you need that exclamation point at the end or something like that. So, so in this exercise, learn about the title tag, and it shows what the output needs to look like, gives a couple hints at the bottom, kind of nice. If they finish it, they hit save and submit. It would be up here if it wasn't already, and it'll move them on to the next task. You can see the tasks are aligned in a row along the bottom by unit, or you can always have them go back to their main page so they can see what they're where they're at in progress. All right, grade. What is this? This is new. Let's ignore this. This must be a pro version thing. I've never seen this before. So more is there's a lot of options. History, you can go back to a prior version. Let's say a student accidentally deleted all their code. You go to history, you could bring it back to where they were at a previous point in time or previous date and time. You could bring the code all the way back. A lot of kids accidentally delete the starter code they're given. You could reset the starter code. That's in the regular version as well. So you could upload. Lots of kids like to use their own images for web pages or even for some of the programming activities. You upload whatever you want and you could use your own images. Okay, so I mean, I should really show you principles probably, I would think. So let me go to CodeHS and I'll pull up the AP principles so you can see all the different activities that you could do in a principles class, or at least this will be last year's version. I haven't looked at this new year yet. I don't know if they've made any changes. So this stuff here is all pro, but as you can see here, I've barely used the actual activities of CodeHS. For my AP Principles class, I mostly use sandbox mode, which I'm going to get into that in a little bit. This is the strength of CodeHS sandbox mode. So I'm just getting into the courses they give you right now. But so again, here's all my students. If I click on one, I'm just going to click on Bennett. Again, we can see all of his achievements that he's done. He did almost nothing. That's not surprising. I didn't assign any of this. But as you can see, these little bubbles from the teacher's perspective are going to be color coded. So you can see, just look at it and you can see exactly what progress they have on a student by student overview. So what you want to see is teal and green. Teal and green are good. It means they finished the things they're supposed to do. Yellow means they've started it and haven't finished it. Gray means they've never clicked on it. So if your student is claiming, oh, I didn't have time to, or, I'm working really hard, Mr. Chamberlain, I just haven't finished it yet. You go on here and you see it's gray, they're lying. They haven't even clicked on it. So really nice in that regard. And I can, in real time, this gets updated. I could sit at the front of the room, just click through student by student, and I could see these percentages move up throughout the course of the hour. And I could say, I could shout across the room, hey, Bennett, doesn't look like you've done anything in the last few minutes. Or, be a good teacher and actually walk around and interact with them. So that's really the features of the coursework. Let's get into some of the tasks they were going to do. So this is, all right, I eliminated something. Yeah, this is unit 3. I've eliminated the first 2 units because I didn't use them anyway. Let's look at the variables unit and let's see what some of the tasks they're going to be doing. So they have a lot of different things you can do. AP practice, this is probably just practice questions, yeah. So they have little quizzes and whatnot you can use. You can set up your own quizzes as well. Let me get back into how to set up the actual course now. Go back to this. Okay. Now I can go to the assignments tab and I can click over here. I can edit these courses too. I can add things in, I can remove things, I can change the order of them. Let's say I don't want to do this intro to programming unit. I can completely eliminate this, just remove it. I can move it up or down, change the priority level. I can get rid of things that I think are too hard or too easy. So let's say that I know the students are going to struggle through functions and parameters number 3, or I feel there's no value to it. I can, if I choose to, just remove it. Or I can remove it and replace it with something else. You have a lot of power, even in the free version, to make modifications to the basic setup. So let's say in this, I wanted to have new tasks that I want to assign the students. So I'm going to tell a story. Let's do it in this one. Okay, add a new assignment. So I'm going to click on this. Brings up my thing. I could choose, it could be a quiz, it could be a coding exercise, whatever. I normally always just do coding exercises. I still am old school, like my quizzes and assessments to be pen and paper. Pick a language. We're going to talk about this more when I show you the sandbox mode, but I've been teaching AP Principles in JavaScript the last couple of years, JavaScript console. They also have JavaScript graphics, which is a lot like what you just saw from the prior presenter, where you can put JavaScript graphics out there. So again, I could show you that in a little bit, but I use JavaScript console. I can give it a name. So we're going to call this Wisconsin driver. I can add whatever text I want to down here. I happen to have an assignment I give to my students. So we're going to analyze the Wisconsin driver's license and tell, based on the driver's license number, if they're male or female and what year they were born. So paste that there. Now, obviously, this doesn't look that great, but I could put an image in there. That's what I tend to do is I screenshot it, crop it, stick the image right off my assignment right into there instead of actually putting the text in there. But I can give them starter code if I choose to. Right now, this is the starter code. I put as much or little as I want to. So I could give them a lot and just have them complete a couple lines of very important code, or I could have them build everything from scratch with no starter code. It's really up to me how I want to have it. I can save the starter code and hit preview of the assignment, and you're going to see as the students would see it. Let's get started. I don't know, my assignment text didn't show up, but let's show exercise. I must not have saved it, but
Aaron, did you save it? I think you didn't save it.
yeah, I don't think I did either. I think I forgot to save that text I'd pasted. So now the only drawback with making your own assignments is there is no auto grader for it. Now it does have there is solution code. You can put in solution code, but then their code has to be identical to your code, as far as I can tell. Not realistic when it comes to coding for my code and your code to look identical to each other. So mostly what you have to do then is just have the students raise their hand, say, grade this. Or when they submit it, it won't turn green because it's not auto-graded, it'll turn teal. And so that that you can just go onto the account and you can look at their assignment. You can do it from your computer because you have full access to all their work from your computer. You never have to look at their computer but I still like to go around and, have them submit it and say, wow, that's really good. Great job. I'll check it off, that kind of thing. So, really easy to set up a course. If I wanted to do, let's say I wanted to do a new section for this year. Let me get in that. Let's see. Yeah, create new section. So I could create a one right off the bat here. I need one anyway for my AP principles. So we're going to do 2020 or 2020. Is it really almost 2025? AP Computer Science Principles. Let me fix my spelling. You're going to see all of the different, so you can choose your own or and literally build it all from scratch, or you could choose a pre-built course. And there are tons of pre-built courses, huge number, hundreds of these. In fact, you can, in some cases here, like Maryland Computer Science 1, the state of Maryland has their entire curriculum posted for all the teachers in Maryland to use it, and CodeHS hosts it, essentially. So I'm going to choose AP Computer Science Principles in JavaScript. I could choose Python. I could choose C++. It's got a lot of different languages. I'm going to choose JavaScript because I've been doing that the last couple of years. Manage assignments, add students. Add students will give me the join code. Manage assignments lets me make modifications. So add students. Again, all it's going to give me is the join code. And then the students can add it when they're ready. So I can give them a link directly if you want to link through Canvas or whatever learning management system you use, or you can send email invites, or just do what I do, just write the join code on the whiteboard and make them do the work. So, all right, so that's setting up coursework. Now, what I really like is sandbox mode. I'm going to show you this. This doesn't even require a course, although I still have them join a course. You can have them create a program in sandbox mode anytime you want. These are all the ones that I've written as examples. So I've got a few hundred ones, I think, maybe 150, I don't know. So like here, I did Python with Turtle. I did one called Gradient. Oh, it doesn't even work, does it? No, that didn't. I was testing something. Ignore my testing. Here, balloons. So
then just quickly, Aaron, we do have one more person to present. So
yeah, I'll wrap it up here.
Was this out? Yeah, if you got this one, and then maybe a big takeaway there for you.
Yeah. So anyway, the benefits of sandbox mode real quick is when you create a program, a lot of languages, you can see them all right here. Lots and lots and lots of resources is the big advantage. It's an online IDE for all these different languages. One-stop shop for everything. The drawback is you need to supplement what you're teaching heavily. You need to teach it. They're kids. If you just tell them to go through these activities, they're not going to get very far and they're not going to know what they're doing. So you still need to teach them actively, not just rely on a 3-minute video to teach a whole concept. So it does have some offline resources, but they're not very good. And the programming activities tend to be mediocre at best. So you really need to supplement their capabilities with your own. So anyway, that's all I got to say then.
I had a quick question for you, Aaron.
Yeah.
With CodeHS, I know you can, it has a setting where you can allow the students to copy and paste to do their programming. I've used that back and forth at times. I've not allowed students to copy and paste because sometimes they'll cheat off of each other, right? So I was just wondering, how do you use that? Have you just ruled it out completely throughout?
I don't use it at all.
Okay.
I rely on the fact that I'm walking around and watching the students doing their work. And I know my students and I know which ones are likely to cheat, that kind of thing. Plus, I don't do any assignments, or my major assessments are offline on paper, so they can't cheat on those. I really don't rely on the coding projects for the bulk of the grading. I use, it's largely practice more than anything. So if they want to cheat through practice, they're not going to get very far.
Yeah.
And the kids, as long as they're fun activities, the kids are going to want to do them anyway. So
yeah,
I don't really see that much. It's never been a concern for me.
Okay.
So, somebody else? I mean, copy pasting is a huge problem. Chat GPT writing code is a huge problem too. But I guess the way you avoid all that is to do a lot of design your owns. The student has to design their own project, which if they're just like their neighbors, they cheated, right? That's the way around that. And what's the other thing? Chat GPT. Don't give them programming assignments that you can just find online. Create your own that are clever and innovative that you can't find a solution online for. Therefore, Chat GPT hasn't seen it before and can't just spit it out. So Chat GPT can only regurgitate what it's seen, not what it hasn't.
No, it can create its own. You can make up.
In some cases.
It can combine things from different sources. So
It
ChatGPT can do, as long as it's fully enough defined, ChatGPT can write code.
Yeah.
We played with it in my AI class and tried to see how much it could do for the intro class.
It could do a lot.
It could do everything.
All right. Well, if anybody has any other questions, there's a lot of great stuff there. Feel free to put it in the chat, and I guess we can follow up later there. We want to make sure we give Jan enough time to talk, and then we'll have a little quick closing there right before 7:30 and a wrap up if anybody has anything else, and we'll be here. All right, Jan.
Okay. I think I'm not sharing the right screen. Just a minute, sorry.
And you were sharing. We could see your screen for a minute, Runestone.
Yeah, but I think you saw the second, sorry. I had it open so that I could. Okay. Can you see a table of contents?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about Runestone. The Runestone Academy is a lot like CodeHS, except the concept of it is the textbook. So the textbook is the central point, and it also has courses for lots of different things. If you just go to Runestone Academy, free online textbooks, everything is free. Yes, they ask for donations, but it's up to you if you donate to it. It's both math and computer science. I've really only used it for the computer science because the only math course I teach is discrete structures, and I had done that so often without that I never did there. I used it a little bit when I was teaching in Maryland, but in Maryland I had courses of hundreds of students at one time because it's a huge computer science program. Here at Ripon College, I have much smaller classes, but I also teach 4 different classes in a semester. And so this helps me give them a textbook where they can try everything out as they go. So it has a regular textbook structure, but then it has interactive places right inside the textbook where you can, it's given you code, you can change the code, you can rerun it, you can change it again, rerun it as often as you want. And then there's also multiple choice questions or what are called Parsons type questions all the way through the textbook. So I'm going to just show you one of my courses, and then I'll show you how to set up one for yourself. So when you first have a class, this is my class from fall of 22, just because I randomly chose one. So I was teaching the intro to programming, which is actually in Python. So there is a book for Java and stuff too, but this one is Python. So if you just go to a chapter, or a section, I'm going to just go to 1.8. So if we're talking about what runtime errors are, now you could read through the textbook like a regular textbook, keep pushing next. I'm just going to jump around a little bit, but they have a little bit of reading and then some multiple choice questions, and you can answer incorrectly, answer correctly, and it's telling you for all the multiple choice questions what you've done. I do not use it for summative assessments at all. I call it a formative assessment. They have to mark when they believe they're done, when they believe they understand that concept. Just like Code HS, I see them as they do it. So I can be watching which ones they've done. I can look at how much time they've spent on a certain page. Yes, it's how much time the page has been open, which isn't always the most informative, but it's showing that they're, you know, at least in the book. Another feature, we can go back to the table of contents at any time. Another feature I really like is the glossary, because it gives really good definitions of all the terms that were in that chapter. And so it makes a really good thing that I put, like, for example, I do quizzes, interactive quizzes, competitive quizzes, to make sure they're reading this stuff. Again, that's still summative because I don't actually grade those, but it's also good questions for quizzes and exams to make sure they know what the definitions, not the word for word definitions, but make sure they know all of those terms. And I find that they actually even make flashcards for each other from these glossaries because they're really complete. The general structure of a lesson like Code HS has sometimes videos, sometimes reading. Then they have these save and run that you can, for example, I can go and change. I'm going to save and run it. I get 5 and 7. I assume everybody predicted that. I can change the values, run it again, can change the order of the lines. Run it again, because I like the issue that they can say, what if? Because it seems like when I'm doing a demonstration in front of class, students say, well, what if you did this and what if you did that? This allows them to do that what if all by themselves whenever they want to. I'm going to put it back as it was because that's sort of a useless little program. But save and run, we get the 12 and then the 7. The other part is this code lens, which I'll get to in a minute, but it allows them to practice as much as they want. The programs get longer, add other things like comments and multiple prints. They have a lot about developing the mental model of how it works. You know, so they don't just talk about do this to have this happen. They talk about why this is different than other languages and things like that, which I really like as using it in my intro computer science course, because I know they're going to get to these other languages and things as we go. Again, they have to mark it as completed, and then it shows on my screen as done. I wanted to show one. Like if we have, for example, Hello World program, notice lots of different ways they can run it and see what they get for each one, you know, and then if they wanted to change something, as in what if these two are on the same line? You know, will it make a difference? What if these are not on the same line? You know, will that make a difference? And so they can do all these different changes as they go Again, this is just for them to play with. I don't grade this as far as, you know, did you get this right? Besides these that they give code that you can play with, there are also assignments within. I don't tend to use those, just like Erin said, for my actual assignments. I either do paper or more often I have them write actually in PyCharm because they're writing something larger that combines all the different ideas. But I'm going to go to a more advanced section where we can play with the code better. So 7.6 is what I decided. Nested conditionals. Everybody knows and loves nested conditionals. And so it shows some sample code of what you might like, shows what a flow diagram would look like for that. Then it gives us that code with some values. And we can run it that way and see what the results are. We can run it by changing the values. X is greater than Y. This one should say X is less than Y. Now, if they're confused about why they got that answer, the code lens takes it step by step. The next line to be executed is marked in red. The frames and objects are what is actually stored in memory, and the output is what would print. So after that line, nothing is printed, but we have a part of the stack holding a variable named X, another variable named Y. We got to this X minus Y, or X less than Y. So then when I'm doing this, like as a demonstration in class, I'll have them predict what's going to happen next. And then they can actually see if they're right. And so predicting what's going to happen as they go is always a real good way to make sure they understand the code. They have lots of these code lenses for lots of different programs that you can change the code, trace it through, and then there'll still be multiple choice questions to see, did they really understand what they did? And will the following code cause an error, yes or no? And they can say yes, yes or no, check me. Then they can get it wrong, and it tells them if they did it wrong or right. And it's legal nested if else, if the inner else is completely contained in the outer, So it's telling you what is wrong with it at each step. And then if they really understand it, hopefully then they would say no and mark it as completed when they know they got it right. Now, how to set up a class. So if you just come into the Runestone Academy, you have to make an account. I have the students make an account. Just like CodeHS, I can then give them the name of the course that they can join, or I could invite each student to the course. Since I'm teaching at the college level, I just give them the name of the course. The nice thing about it is I have the same students semester to semester because I'm the only computer science teacher. And so once they have their account set up, they can go to different classes. So if I say create a course, I'm going to just create one, and we're going to say it's CSTA. They don't actually check this, so I think I can, lie that that's a school, so it can. The course level, they want to know if you're teaching high school, middle school, whatever. I'm going to say we're a community college, and then these are the courses. So AP Computer Science. For AP Computer Science, I like AP CS Awesome. That's my personal go-to for that. But if you're teaching one of the other ones, it is a full-blown textbook that will take you through the whole semester for that program. Comp 1000, I'm not even sure what that is. The general computer science stuff, data structures. I'm actually teaching data structures this coming semester. I use the problem solving with algorithms and data structures. It starts with the built-in like lists, but gets through trees, graphs, all that kind of stuff. Really nice textbook. With not quite as much interaction as the Python one, but pretty good. You know, a lot more pictures drawn, a lot more like a textbook with less of the interaction. Lots of them for intro to computer science in different languages. This one I really used this summer because my summer program had my college students working with high school students. The high school students had to learn Java. In our program at Ripon College, we don't use Java. So they had to learn Java really quick. So they used this Java for Python programmers because they were really good Python programmers. It made a really quick conversion. The math, the only one I've really looked at much was linear algebra, just because I was tutoring somebody in linear algebra. Very nice interactive where you can move the matrices around and try it again, move the matrices around, or move the elements around in the matrix. The experiments are good. So once you have your course set up, sorry, I'll wrap up. I'm now about out of time. You give it a name. And so like CSTA Summer 24 is what it decided, but I can type in anything I like. And so like my class for this year is named RC, because I teach at Ripon College, but I can go to change course. And this is all the different courses I've used it for. If we go to let's go to the intro. How you make an assignment is real easy because I just have to go in and I say assignments. As soon as I show this, oh, sorry. Instructor page first. I have to tell it I'm an instructor. Only the person who sets up the account is the instructor, or you can add other people to instruct. But I can then manage students. For example, if somebody drops the course and I want to remove them, I can add assistants, that kind of stuff. I can see how they're doing. Let me go to assignments because I think it's really neat. There are so many activities that you don't want to assign everything. So I make up an assignment. Sometimes it's just a part of a chapter. So like I'll break up the chapter into 3 assignments, but then I give it a name, a due date, all that kind of stuff. And then down here, I can choose which readings they should do. And it doesn't have to be the whole chapter. I can actually choose within. I can then choose which problems I want them to do. For that one, I had them read the whole chapter. But if we go to the problems, I didn't have them do all of them. So no, it's not a green check mark, it's just a blue square. And I could go into even the sub areas and choose which ones I think are most important. When it comes to an assignment, they have to have done all the things on the assignment. But when they come in, they can click on that little assignments button. They'll see which ones they've done and which ones they haven't, and can either do them right there, which is a little hard because then they're out of context of the book, but they can also click on it to show it in context. It'll take them to that section of the book so they can read or watch the video, answer those questions, and then they can say they're done with the assignment once they see they got all green check marks. Green is good, red is bad, yellow means they've started but not finished. So, sorry, I went a little over. Any questions? I'd really like to show, you know, but if somebody wants to try it out, oh, besides that, there are instructor guide. There's actually a course once you register for Runestone as an instructor. There is a textbook for how to use Runestone. So, and it's another interactive textbook. So it's sort of recursive. You know, a textbook to tell you how to use the textbook. But there's also the facts and stuff like that. But the instructor guide takes you through a textbook about how to use it.
All right. Very good.
And if anybody wants to try it
Question?
and send me a message, we can get on Zoom and I can talk you through the pieces you need.
Perfect.
And it's all free. Nothing. Students don't get charged. Teachers don't get charged.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Oh. Just to show the wheel exists. The wheel is real. There it is.
All right. So Kyle, did you want to explain how the
Well,
review?
we're going to spin the wheel and it's going to land on the everyone. No, I'm kidding. It would be funny though if you did a different wheel and just said everyone in every one of the spots. But yeah, it'll be what is it, Joe? He said 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your chances are high.
Yep.
Even with the inability for complete randomness, we're going to randomly sort it to 8 people.
And Joe said that even if you're not present, you can still win because we went over time. So I am going to hit the lineup button, and then the top 8 are going to be the winners. So Jan, Stacy, Mark, Kristen, Aaron, Jenny, John, and Jacqueline are the winners.
All right.
So you will be seeing an Amazon gift card from Joe in appreciation for your joining us tonight.
Yeah.
Very good. And if
Yeah,
you do get a chance to get it, if you're on Facebook, I'll put the resources shared tonight in the page there for everyone to see and add links to that as well. Go ahead, Joe.
I was just going to say, Murray will send me the list of names, and I'll hopefully do that yet this evening. So you should be getting your email a message from Amazon that you'll get a $20 card, a gift card, whatever else like that. So courtesy of the CSTA Wisconsin Dryland chapter. Thank you, Mary and Kyle.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming.
And I'm going to stay on for a little bit if anybody else wants to talk or, commiserate or whatever else like that. So
I'll stay on too since we really didn't have time for questions on Runestone.
thank you. Yeah, thank you to our presenters, all three of you. Really, really nice stuff. I wish I had access to this stuff before I retired, but this stuff did not exist at all in early 2000s. This is all in the last 10 or 15 years or less.
Computers barely existed when you started.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's about it. We had teletypes and card punches and scanning sheets and stuff like that.
Thank you, everyone, and have a great night. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Me too. Thanks so much, everybody. See you later.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you all for coming. This is great.
I just had a quick question. If everyone knows of a resource of like an interactive trace table that you could just hit like next, and it would actually create the table for you. We use Python specifically in my school for CSP because I saw this research article out of Pittsburgh about converting static code into an interactive trace table. And I was just wondering, does something like that exist yet out there, or?
Do you mean like the code lens I was showing? That's a trace, stack trace.
Yeah, but like, I was hoping for something that would go like show like it's line 1, then jumps back up to like, or line 1, line 2, line 3, then jumps back up.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
show a loop, but it would.
Okay.
In Runestone, it would show a loop and jump to whatever line it needed to go to.
Okay.
And if there are functions, it actually makes 2 frames because variables in this function and variables in that function. So it's keeping track of the whole stack, runtime stack.
Yeah, I saw that global frame, but yeah, we didn't see it like jump through loops. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have time to get to more advanced stuff.
Oh, that's all right. Does it show line number at all when it's going through that? Yeah, it does.
Well,
Okay.
the red arrow shows what line it's on. So it doesn't actually
Yeah.
show the line number, but the red arrow shows what line it's on, the next line that would run. And
Yeah, I
so
feel
then
like my
you can
kids
see
need to
what that
see
line does.
that in the table. It'd be the part that they're getting stuck with. Like they get lost in like doing like nested loops, like where they're at. Okay. Well, thank you anyway.
Yeah, in olden days, we used to have something called interactive debuggers, and those were when I first was introduced to this stuff in early 1980s at Carnegie Mellon University. I thought I had died and gone to heaven because I was so used to putting print statements or whatever in code and stuff like that, and here you could just set up and say, stop here and let me examine stuff or whatever else like that. And of course, they're much more advanced now, much more advanced.
PyCharm does that. It has an interactive debugger built in.
Okay. Yeah.
So like
that's cool stuff.
Much better than the DBX that you probably learned at your day.
Yeah, we've been just doing it by hand. But this, I posted a link to the article that I saw, and it looked like they were making a nice UI for something, but that was like back in 2020. But it like talks about like what step they're